The New York Mets have discussed a trade with Josh Bell from the Washington Nationals. So yes, the Mets are still interested in a big bat, and Josh Bell would be a perfect fit for the New York Mets. This guy is hitting 305 right now, 13 home runs, definitely 50 RBIs. He would be a difference maker into this lineup. Definitely give Pete Alonso some protection. The Mets are in a good place right now. Yes, we are a half a game away from the Braves, but still, the Mets are in still a good position, still without their ace, Jacob deGrom. So, it's crazy to see where the Mets are at, guys. But, in this offer that the Mets want to make for Josh Bell, the Washington Nationals, they want a starting pitcher and they also want a outfield prospect. And they want the starting pitcher, in the upper levels of the minor leagues, and the outfield prospect, in the lower levels. Maybe a guy like Khalil Lee, maybe a guy like Jose Butto, who is a Mets top 20 prospect. He's in single A. So these are options, guys. Mark Vientos, Khalil Lee, those guys are options as well. But Josh Bell has been raking, guys, for the Washington Nationals. Definitely would be a welcome addition to the New York Mets. I know that the Nationals don't really like to trade into the division, but I would say this, guys, this would be a big trade for the New York Mets. Guys, this would give, Pete Alonso some protection, behind him. And, it's good to see. It's good to see that the Mets are still trying to make offers. They're still trying to make moves because, guys, this team is a really good team. It is a really good team. I know that the offense has been a little, not great, but this team is a really good team, and this team can definitely get better offensively, get a big bat and also get a reliever. And speaking of reliever, guys, also with the Mets trading for Josh Bell, the Washington Nationals would bring the Mets a reliever. I don't know exactly who, but I know that the Mets are in on Josh Bell. They're interested. And I know that that's some surprising news because of the Daniel Vogelbach news, that he was acquired, 2 days ago. So, this is actually a tricky little situation because the fact that the Mets have Vogelbach, but, that they're still interested in another guy. And it does make sense because, you can have Daniel Vogelbach come off the bench. You can have Josh Bell start in your lineup. And, this will be a great addition for the New York Mets. And we know that the New York Mets desperately need a big bat. I've been saying this all year. The Mets need a big bat. And that's what they got to do. They got to make moves, guys. You don't get better without making moves. So come on, the Mets have to make a move. We got the trade deadline coming August 2nd, really close to that day. So, the Mets got to make moves. They got to really think about situations. They got to think about what they can do to make this team better. And I'm not going to lie, guys. There's options out there for the New York Mets that they can, pounce on. There's also, we have Josh Bell, Trey Mancini, who has also been talked about in trades, the Mets are interested in. And obviously we know why, because Trey Mancini is a right-handed bat, and the Mets have been struggling against left-handed hitters. Left-handed pitchers. So, yeah, guys, Billy Epler is doing what he can. Sandy Alderson is doing what they can to, make this team better. And I honestly believe that. I think that the Billy Epler, he's looking at the market. And he said that in a recent interview that the reliever market is robust. So what that means is, there's a lot of options out there for relievers. So this is looking good for the New York Mets because the Mets need relievers desperately. They need a big bat like Josh Bell desperately. There's also other options that they can go with. They can bring up Francisco Alvarez from AAA. It might be too soon, but listen, with a bat like Francisco Alvarez that can possibly come up to the majors, this is an intriguing options for the New York Mets. They also have another intriguing option is Mark Vientos, who, hit his 17th home run today, for Syracuse. So he's been raking. So listen, the Mets have options. They want to do something to make this team better. And I know in my heart that they're going to do something to make this team better. I don't know exactly what, but I'll tell you this, guys. I'm always going to keep you guys, on the latest news and what's going on with the New York Mets, guys. But Josh Bell, let me know what you guys think about Josh Bell. Do you guys think that this is a scenario that the Mets would benefit from? How do you feel about Josh Bell? I know that Josh Bell, he's an all-star. He struggled, what's it called? Last year, he hit 261, 27 home runs. So listen, Josh Bell he's been definitely productive for the last 2 years, so far. But what I love actually is that, the strikeouts are low for Josh Bell. So that's good news. He's not chasing the ball out of the strike zone. So listen, if Josh Bell is the answer for this team, then the Mets gotta pounce on him. Whatever. Listen, I'm fine with giving up Jose Butto or whatever. He is a top 20 prospect for the New York Mets. And I think personally that the Mets do need pitching prospects. I don't know why they didn't draft, in the MLB draft, go for pitching. But listen, I'm not the GM. I'm not the owner of the team. So I can't really, I can't really decide anything for the New York Mets. But all I could do is comment, let you guys know my honest opinions and what's going on. And yeah, guys, Josh Bell, guys, this is an intriguing option for the New York Mets. Khalil Lee, I don't mind giving up. Definitely. Mark Vientos, listen, I want to give up Mark Vientos for the right price. I don't want to give up Mark Vientos for just nothing. Mark Vientos is a young guy, third baseman, has a lot of promise. There's some things there. I know that they have Brett Beatty, but I feel like they should really use Mark Vientos in a big trade, not just a, not a small trade. So we'll see what happens, guys. But the Mets are still in. That's the good news. The Mets are still in, trying to make more moves. So let's just go with the flow. Let's see what happens. And hopefully, the Mets start winning, because definitely the Braves are putting the pressure on the New York Mets. So we'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely, I appreciate you guys watching. And this has been All Things Mets Media. Love you guys so much. I love GM for life.